Alrighty, Josh Addo-Carr stands down ahead of week one. Addo-Carr has volunteered to stand himself down from a core stadium clash with Seagulls to spare the club bad publicity after allegedly returning a positive result to the roadside drug test on Friday. Addo-Carr maintains his innocence, and his lawyer has pointed to irregularities during testing process, with the reports indicating police were unable to follow usual roadside drug testing procedures because they were called to a nearby home invasion. The charges against Addo-Carr were thrust into public consciousness on Monday when Gus Gould tweeted denying that the initial roadside test had been positive. That claim was contradicted by police statement later, a discrepancy Gould put down to Addo-Carr's relaying of the information to the club. I guess the question, first of all, is what are your thoughts on the whole situation, Smithy? And then we'll talk about how it's been handled.
Well, the whole situation's all a little bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Given the news is that Josh and other injured players, plus the coaching staff of the Bulldogs, they were at the Roosters match at Addo-Carr. That's correct, isn't it? Because they were staying across the road. Then Josh has decided to leave at half time to go get a phone charger for some reason. That's the story that we're being told, and in that time, that's when he's been pulled over and the test has occurred. I don't know. It just seems like there's something missing somewhere in the story that we've been told. And I think, watching Gus Gould and listening to him talk, I feel as though he believes the same, that there's something missing somewhere. The pieces just aren't going together completely at the moment. So it's a strange one. And, I look at the fact that Josh has stood himself down. I feel as though that there's more to this story than what we've already heard, or there's more to come, I should say. What's really unfortunate is that it's happened on the eve of the Bulldogs' first finals campaign in a long, long time. The last time they played finals was 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this has been a very, very successful year for the Bulldogs, for the football club, for the players, for the team, but most importantly for the fans and the members. And unfortunately now there's just this slight shadow hanging over this first week of finals for them.
Mate, I tell you what makes it so confusing for me is that I agree there's definitely something is missing here. Something is not adding up. But at the same time, the Fox is very, very being strong.
He's adamant.
Yeah,
adamant.
He is absolutely that it did not happen. And you would think a guy as experienced as the Fox, with such a long career and one of the most loved players in rugby league, he would know better than anyone. You're better to just cop to it than
That's
not.
Correct.
And so it's not like we're dealing with a rookie that's going, you know what, I'm just gonna say I didn't do it and hopefully
I'm just going to lie my way through it.
Yeah. No, he knows better than anyone. If you just cop to it, there's ways, certain things that, for example, you've got in contracts with the RLPA, you get a certain amount of strikes as well. You know what I mean? So there are protections around this situation happening. Not to suggest that he shouldn't be punished, but what I'm saying is that you'd assume that the punishment will be substantially less if he did do it and he just fesses up to it. And so that's what makes it so confusing, because you have to believe Fox at his word, because it's innocent until, the good old...
Proven guilty?
Yeah. So very, very strange situation. I agree with you, mate. The thing that sucks is that, they've gotten to the finals, and the Fox has been a big part of this. He was one of their first signings that built into this.
Yep.
And it just sucks that, this has happened this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I know he's had a couple of injuries this year, but the form that he's shown on their wing, he's so vital to their football side. And the result this weekend, they don't get a second chance. They're playing do or die football now. So him not being there and now having to put a less experienced player in that position that he would have filled, it makes the task even harder for the Bulldogs. So I hope they go out there and play well. And look, if they don't get the win, I really hope everyone doesn't just point the finger at Josh Addo-Carr, but now that's the situation that he's been put in. Yeah. The difficult thing is, mate. Right? So we're waiting on this secondary test or third test, whatever it is, the second sample. Okay, and that could where it's been reported and we're hearing that it could take a few weeks to happen. What happens if they lose this week, right? I'm sure he's going to cop a bit of heat,
Yeah.
Josh, for not being there. But then in 2 weeks' time, right, it comes out and says negative.
Mm.
Then what? What do people then say? Oh, sorry, Fox.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I mean, that's why these anonymous tips are just. It's just. I wish there was some protections against it, because in reality, until we shouldn't know anything about this until we know the results.
That's right.
And unfortunately, here, if it comes back negative, his name has been damaged because this has been leaked to the media. You know, so I agree with you, mate. It's going to be very strange if it comes back negative and he cops all this heat if they do lose on the weekend. Now, we've got some texts here. Smithy, it was a longer season as we had the build-up to round 0 in Vegas. Azza. That's a great point, mate.
Yeah, fair point.
That's a great point. Here's a very important one. Two important ones. Smithy, if you failed your coach's review at Currumbin Eagles, we're happy to take you at Manly with Siebes. Good luck on your yearly review, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
And this is the most important before we head to a break. Kempy, as the season ends and the year progresses, can you update us on how many properties and penthouses Smithy owns on the Gold Coast? From Mike. Oh, mate, seriously, we've only got 3 hours, mate. We'd be here for about 6 if you wanted me to do that.
Come on, Mike, ease up, mate. I just got me little shack out in the hills, mate. That's all I'm just out there, mate. Hey, Kempy, we always talk about this, mate. We're just battlers, mate. Humble battlers.
That'll do me. After the break, Bennett calls for the bunkers to be scrapped.
That's where we're going. We're in a fair bit of trouble in the game because that's a try that'll never be scored again. I mean, the 3 defender committed to our player who's run the inside shoulder, which he's supposed to do, and the 4 defender, ran into him, and then, they said that he obstructed the 4 defender. You understand what I'm saying? It's just crazy.
I guess we're in a position where the NRL will look at that sort of stuff in the off-season. Do you think? Would you hope that there's some change?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's not going to change, unfortunately, because they can't get it right.
What's the answer? How do we fix it?
I think get rid of it. Didn't want to hear that, did you?
There you go. So Wayne Bennett says get rid of it. Abdo has defended the bunker.
All I'll say is I think it's ridiculous to consider a sport not using technology to make decisions. When we talk about the bunker is nothing more than a referee using technology to assist the on-field match referee in making the right decision for the fans. He's entitled to his opinion. He's entitled to his view. And as I said, he's talking about all that he's put into the season, and he feels hard done by that.
In this situation, would he have got there 1 or 2 steps earlier? Would he have been able to effect a better tackle? Potentially, we'll never know the answer to that. But the fact is that there was contact by the lead runner on a player who is entitled to try and defend without being impacted by a player from the team in possession who doesn't have the ball. And that's exactly what happened in this case. Any questions on that one?
There you go. There's some audio, Smithy. Would love to hear your thoughts, mate.
On this one?
Yeah.
There'd be 1,000 questions.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a try, to be honest. That was the way I seen it. That's why I seen it live. That's why I seen it on the replay, and still think that way. I think everything that the players are asked to do as an option runner or a decoy runner. I don't call them decoy runners. I call them option runners. But he ran at the inside shoulder of Cogger. He made Cogger make a decision to turn in and to defend. It was Lemielu, wasn't it?
Yes.
I think it was, yeah. And so Cogger turned in and made the decision to go in, and that was the space that Trey Fuller ran through. So, to me, that's not an obstruction. Do we have to blow the bunker up? No, I don't think so. I think, Wayne he's gone sort of full tilt the other way there, but I think what needs to happen is we just need to try and educate whoever our bunker officials are. We just need to try and educate them a little bit more around sort of game awareness. And I've heard a few people talk about this before, that it's really hard to officiate our game in black and white. I think you may have said this as well, Kempy. Like it's really hard to do that because there's so many different circumstances that can unfold during a match that really don't allow you to officiate it that way, because every day of the week. If you want to do that, if you want to rule that via a textbook, okay, well, yes, I can understand why you can say that's an obstruction, but from a game point of view, there's no way that you can say that's a no try.
Yeah, mate. Look, I think what Bennett is saying is human error is still happening even though we're using the bunker.
Yeah.
So if you got rid of the bunker, then fans would go, I'm willing to accept the human error of a referee and also the flow of the game. The referee has a better feel for it than a book does.
Yeah.
And in the moment, referee that's been refereeing for the past 30 years of his life, maybe even longer, everyone watching, we saw it and went, that's a try. Even Knights fans, yeah, that's a try. Like in the flow of the game. And so I understand that the NRL is sitting there going, look, let's try and rule it via a textbook. I get it because everyone's up in arms about decisions and the subjectivity and the grey areas. However, we're never going to get to that point. We're never getting to the point where the game is going to be black and white. It is a fast-paced game with things happening all the time. Another thing that I kind of, and this might be because I grew up playing soccer, so like I'm happy to be totally wrong about this, but what I don't understand in this rule set is why the defender always has right of way. Like, why are we always making the rule around the defenders? Like, so for example, the end result of this rule, long term, you just won't see option runners that are running a lead.
No, that's right.
Because
you won't see the block play.
Yeah, and so at what point do we step back and go, by making it purely about the defender, we will lose the attacking side of the game. And so I understand, like if you want to just go, well, any contact, it's contact. Well, hang on a sec. The last 2 weeks we've just watched where that's not the case. No. And if any contact is contact, why is it matter whether it's inside shoulder, outside shoulder, running overs, unders, offside, whatever. So I just think that if the underlying point that Bennett was trying to make is that because we have the bunker, there is an expectation that the decisions are better. Therefore, if the bunker is gone, we allow more freedom for the ref to just have a feel for the game.
Yeah. Well, and it all started, like the whole bunker stuff started because of, like say if a referee makes a decision, right, and then we show replays of it, multiple replays, and it's wrong, then we're like, oh, like everyone's up in arms.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it wrong. We need someone, we need a third official that they can refer to, and then they can overlook it and make the right decision. Well, we've done that, and now people are still up in arms going, well, the bunker's now got it wrong.
Yeah.
So I do, if that's Wayne's point, to say, look, scrap it, let the ref make a decision, and if that's their decision, that's it. Let's just move on. Don't worry about several replays. Don't worry about going to the bunker where the bunker takes, at times, like I've called games live where the bunker's reviewed a play for up to a couple of minutes, which is a long time sitting around. Like the player, there's no action. People want to go and watch the footy. They don't want to sit there and listen to the bunker break down a particular play. I get that. So whatever way they go, look, I still feel as though there's a place for it. Maybe we just say, look, you can't rule on bunker, cannot rule on obstructions.
Yeah,
it's whatever the three officials on the field think.
Yeah,
the referee and the two touchies. Whatever they see live and what they feel live is the call, then that's what it is.
Because, mate, I agree with you because, like, the problem is that I understand that the defender shouldn't, if you've got a standing defender that's stationary, he shouldn't have to get knocked over. But because both players are moving, the question then becomes, what hole can that bloke run through? Because there was no space to run through there.
No, that's right. Where's he meant to go to?
Where is he meant to go? Now, the argument against that is like, well, the defence doesn't have to make right of way for the attacking player. But that's where I say, well, hang on a sec. Can we land somewhere in the middle where we're judging, like the attacking player does have a little bit of right of way to get through the line? Then
what was the Knights player that got bumped?
Jones, Brody Jones.
Okay, so what about? I'd suggest, right? Brody Jones is actually doing his job there by coming across to fill that space to help Jack Cogger. Okay. So if Lemuelu gets the ball there,
he tackles him.
He
Every day.
tackles him
Every
right?
day of the
You know what I
week.
mean? So he's just doing his job.
Yeah.
But that again, mate, we spoke about this a few weeks ago. That's why the block play is in our game, is to make defenders make decisions. And that's as good a block play as you'll see.
Well, that's a frustrating thing because, like, what you're saying is exactly correct. Are you honestly telling me if Lemuelu got that ball, that Jones would have just put his hands up and let him walk through?
Yeah, that's right.
He would have tackled him. That's why his body's there, to tackle the
That's
lead
why he's
runner.
there, mate.
Yes,
Exactly.
So it's just like,
So
yeah.
everyone's doing their job.
Yeah.
And when Lemuelu doesn't receive the ball, he then can't disappear.
Yeah.
And he can't stop.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the reverse of like when we see these guys penalised for late contact, right? It's the same in this situation where when you're a back rower and you're running as that option runner to hit that short ball, mate, you got to commit yourself.
Yeah.
You can't just jog onto the ball and say to yourself, well, look, if he doesn't pass to me, well, I'm not running flat out, so I can just hit the brakes and stop so I don't touch anyone. You've got to be running at top speed. So if you get the ball, you can give yourself an opportunity to break tackles.
Yeah.
That's what you're paid to do.
Yeah.
Those back rowers are paid to hit holes hard, to run over the top of people, to break through tackles, attempted tackles from halves or guys filling the space from the inside. Like, our game is not played on
Slow
either
motion.
side of the football, whether it's defending or attacking, at jogging speed.
Yeah. In slow motion.
Oh, my goodness me. But anyway, so, and to your point, mate, like, if this type of rulings, right, phase out the block play, I'll tell you what that will do. That'll cut the try score, the tries that are scored in the season in half.
Good luck trying to score a try where you can't run a block play.
Good luck, right? And I hear, I hear people that, love, the footy from 80s and 90s and all this sort of stuff. Oh, I love that football. There was no bloody block plays and they just went through the hands. Yeah, because you know what? There was no defensive structures or systems back then.
Nah.
Right? If you actually look at rugby league now compared to rugby league back then, and this is not a knock on those players that played in that time, it's just the way the game was played and the way it was coached.
Yeah.
There was no system. I'll tell you what the system was. The system was do your best.
Yeah, just make your tackle.
Every man for himself. Right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, if you pull a side out of the 80s to play against a side now, right? The 2024 side will beat the 80 side 100-0.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just saying that because of the way the game was played. The current side might lose a few to HIAs because they'll be getting their head taken off.
Yeah.
But what I mean by that is the attack would be so much more superior to the opposition's defense. They'd have no idea how to defend the modern game. So that's why the block play was introduced, was because like defensive systems improved and structures improved, and there was it became so hard to break the line, just man on man going through the hands.
Yeah, mate, I totally agree. And also, I just think at the very least, like let's say, we disagree or agree with their interpretation. I think the biggest issue by the wider audience is the consistency. Like, I think we could all cop, let's say that ruling, but that's been the ruling all year. We'd go, yep, sweet. That's fine. However, we've seen in the past couple of weeks, like that's not really the case. We saw Melbourne Storm scored a try against a very, very similar situation, like almost identical on a scrum.
Yeah.
And they said, no, he probably wouldn't have got there to a degree. So anyway, we'll see how. I do think obstruction is one of the game's biggest conundrums that needs to get sorted soon. Yep. Because as you said, mate, if you take blocks out of the game, they want an entertaining product. I'll tell you what makes it less entertaining is no blocks, because I reckon you'd have most games around 12-6. You just wouldn't get tries.
And mate, that's what the game's been pushing over the last, I'd say, 5-6 years. Yeah. They want more points scored.
Yeah.
They want a faster game. They want a more entertaining game. They don't like as a business that they don't want to see an 8-10 or an 8-12 scoreline.
Yeah.
They like the tries.
Yep.
They want to see people crossing the line, scoring tries.